It's mine and many other people's opinion that Britain shouldn't be involved or getting herself involved into what's going on in the yellow and blue country right now. The reason being, I don't think either side is telling the truth about what's going on. And quite frankly, I think the only way to stop this horror that's going on over there now is a simple diplomatic solution. This whole war, the conflict, is going to drag on for a long, long time, and the West isn't helping. The West isn't helping because we are pumping the country full of deranged idiots going over there thinking they're doing the right thing and thinking they're knowing what they're doing by going there and helping to fight against the bear, along with weapons and supplies. So by doing that, we're simply just feeding into it, and it's the wrong way to go about things, I think. And I think strenuous efforts should be made to make all sides just sit down around a table, have a chat, have a cup of tea, and just figure things out. Because I think by pumping more weapons, ammunition, delusional idiots in army uniforms who don't know what they're doing, along with anti-bear propaganda, it's just feeding it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, everyone's getting sucked in, and we've got World War III, and then it's all over then, isn't it? And I think it's rather telling that right-wing conservatives like myself and others are more into the peaceful solution point of view rather than the warmongering that the lefties are pushing for right now. I mean, what the hell is wrong with these people? I don't get it. They are flooding the place with anti-bear hate, along with the death and destruction that's happening there right this very moment. They are quite happy for this region to just completely blow up. More lives destroyed, families torn apart, and communities and cultures wiped off the planet, simply because they hate President Bear. Now, there's one guy who's put his neck on the line a few days ago. He is an intellectual. His name is Noam Chomsky. And even though I don't agree with some of the things that Noam Chomsky says, I mean, this is the guy who called for the persecution of people who refuse to take the jab. But with his latest statement, he's absolutely correct. Give the devil his due. Because he said, fortunately, there is one Western statesman of stature who is pushing for a diplomatic solution to the war in the yellow and blue country, rather than looking for ways to fuel and prolong it, which is what the lefties are doing. His name, he says, is Donald J. Trump. And the lefties are going absolutely gaga with hysteria and hate for this man, simply because he said that Donald Trump is right. I mean, I don't get it. I thought the lefties and the liberal-minded were anti-war, anti-conflict, pro-peace, etc., a bit like Jeremy Corbyn. But they're not. It's evident lately, or recently, ever since Brexit and Trump, etc., that these people, these lefties, they're a violent, murderous bunch. I mean, look at the George Floyd riots, the Black Lives Matter riots, Antifa riots, Momentum riots, their vile, violent, hateful rhetoric on Twitter, which they've gotten away with for the past 6 years. These people simply aren't interested in a diplomatic and peaceful solution. These people are pushing for more weapons, ammunition, supplies to be sent to the yellow and blue country, convinced that they're going to win. But it doesn't work like that. I mean, wars don't start and end overnight. Well, wars start overnight, but they don't end overnight. But you should see the hate that Noam Chomsky is getting from his own side, the left, on Twitter, on social media now. It's disgusting. And this is simply for pointing out that their major bogeyman, Donald Trump, the God Emperor, peace be upon him, is correct about this. And that is the fact that a diplomatic and peaceful solution would bring a quicker end to the conflict and people suffering. And I haven't heard of any other Western leader calling for diplomatic solutions whatsoever. They're all too busy trying to pander to the Twitterati hysterical mob by saying death to President Bear, death to all bears. And they're trying to show each other up by proving who is the most progressive and woke anti-bearist amongst them by flooding as much money, billions of dollars, pounds, euros, ammunition, weapons, rations even, There's a British food company that provides rations for British soldiers. It's also doing it for the troops of the yellow and blue country. So as in all wars, someone is making a huge, massive profit, aren't they? So there we go. If you think we should be pumping more money, more ammunition, more weapons, and more gullible idiots who think they're soldiers into the blue and yellow country, then have a word with yourself. And just think about the poor people who live there and have to go through this bullshit right now. Anyway, that's what I think. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope you can understand why I used yellow and blue country, bear and President Bear, because the YouTube algorithm is very much pro what's going on there right now. Because as you know, YouTube is a platform run by these lefty extremists, and they like this kind of shit, and they're pushing this narrative, this rhetoric, and feeding us misinformation, disinformation about what's going there and elsewhere. And that's that. So if you like what I do, if you believe in free speech, because I have been demonetized by them, then by all means you can buy me a beer. The link is down below. And until my next video, please comment, share, subscribe, and Roger Trout.